I know for the past, is it 2 months already? Maybe going to three. I've been doing the show solo, and I've been picking a career as our spotlight for the week, and we interview the experts in those careers, in those fields, wanting to know how can we too improve and head there, or maybe find inspiration from their journey. Last week, however, we did something different by finding those that are in our community, not the big guys like Daniel Matsapola, who is the former satellite operator, or our AI expert, Yidong, or maybe Gina Garrity, who works with international brands or international companies to build bridges and houses, you know, people that are doing amazing things in society. Yes, we applaud them and we look up to them, but now we started searching within our communities. And last week, we interviewed an 18-year-old self-taught cook. That is amazing at 18, right here within our community. And today is no different. We will be speaking to another young man doing phenomenal things in society, and he's just somebody we might bump shoulders with, we might come across with. So let's start learning from each other. We will also continue with, the phenomenal guest in the weeks to come. But for now, I just want us to observe that energy, that present moment that we're in. So that is it. But I also have a surprise that I would like to tell you at the end of this show. For now, you can let me know what are your thoughts on 0609041056. We'll be talking about matriculants because we know now the pressure is on. It's getting worse and worse. And, sleepless nights are about to kick in as you're wondering, what will I study? What do I want to become? Will I follow my friends? Will we end up in the same university? What if I don't get accepted? And I know all those questions that you're asking yourself because I've been there. Good thing is I've got your back. So we'll be discussing that and a whole lot more. This is Career Compass, where we let you know that the world is your oyster. There is unlimited opportunities out there for you. All you got to do is be brave and seek for opportunities because they are endless. Your Saturdays are about to get better.
Every day's a good day. So you will always see my way. Every day's a good day. Give my life to you. You will always lead my way.
Hey, don't you hate it when your cake or icing just doesn't come out right?
Oh, all the time. It's so frustrating.
Well, have you tried Wooden Spoon? It's a margarine specifically made for baking, and it creates perfect icing as well, every time.
Really? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, not only that, it's by the South African Cake Decorators Guild. And you know what else? When I use Wooden Spoon, it makes me feel like I'm baking with the pros.
This cake is amazing. What's the secret ingredient?
Wooden Spoon margarine, my friend. It's the magic to perfect baking every time.
Habibia Sufi Sahib Basha Pir Darbar, Riverside, Durban, Kenville, and the Sufi Sahib family invites you and your family to the 132nd Urus Sharif of Hazrat Sheikh Ahmed Basha Pir Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi from the 29th August 2024 to the 1st of September 2024. Saturday, 31st August 2024. Program will be at the Mazar Sharif of Hazrat Sheikh Ahmed Basha Pir Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi after Maghrib Salah. Supper will be served. Please note there will be no ladies for this function. Program continues with Sandal Sharif after Isha Salah and Mefile Sama Kawan.
The Outreach Slice of Life campaign. Since its inception, our Slice of Life has touched the lives of countless individuals through our distribution to schools, old age homes, orphanages, and deserving families within our community. This initiative has been instrumental in alleviating hunger. For only 9 rand a loaf, you will be providing a family with their daily staple, bread. Donate now on www.alansar.org.za or call outreach on 031 208 1601.
رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما. Open your eyes, my little one. Not long ago I was so young. When you wake and hold your own, with each wrinkle there's some lessons you'll learn. By the time you learn to love, you'll have to learn to lose. Since one day I'm leaving you, but hold on tight like you once did. When you get a chance, say a prayer like this. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما. Greatest impact has turned to sin. One day when I join them, pray you stay firm, hope you stay kind. Pray you always learn from the best of mankind. By the time you learn to love, you'll have to learn to lose. So one day I'll believe in you, but hold on tight like you once did. When you get a chance, say and pray like this. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا.
رب ارحم. I said is 19 minutes past 9 o'clock. Right into it is Korea Campus with Mark and RAMAZANI, but I'm not alone in studio. I'm joined by Abdurrahman Karsani, who will be talking to us about a lot of things, because the first thing we want to know, why did he choose the career that he chose? I would never recommend for anybody to take law. So we're going to find out about that in a minute, but also we'll be talking about the available opportunities for matriculants. Like I told you, it is that time of the year, and many matriculants are wondering, what do I do right now? What degree do I take on? What if I take a gap year? What then? And the questions are endless, but we've got you. We've got you. This show is specially tailored for you, because we've reached a stage in South Africa where the unemployment rate is alarming, the cost of living, as well as inflation and retrenchment, and so many. I'm not here to cause you to panic. I'm here to inform you that it is about time that you polish those skills. There is a great need for you to have great skills that you can survive. Now, on the show, we talk about side hustles. We talk about degrees that are in demand locally and globally. We also talk about careers that do not require a degree. We talk about soft skills and a lot more. Been listening. So for those that haven't, well, I hope today won't be the last. So keep listening. Top of the list, I'm going to start with side hustle, but I think it won't be fair that I be the one talking for as good as I talk for. Okay, it's about time that I introduce you to our very own co-host for the day. Assalamu alaikum, Abdurrahman. How are you doing?
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A little cold, but it's okay. It's a good Saturday morning. I hope everyone's doing well. Assalamu alaikum to all the listeners. Here we are. We are starting off fresh. We're going to speak to the matriculants, to the first years, second years, third years, or even the fourth years, the final years. I hope everyone's I hope all matriculants are a little bit less pressured, feeling a little relaxed. I think they've written at least like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 exams so far. And I hope they're taking it a bit easy. It's just, remember, it's in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but regardless, it is trials. It is something serious, but at the same time, don't treat it as the end all be all. Don't try to treat it as the end of the world. But at the same time, yes, it is going to be something serious. So take it as a milestone. Take it as it comes, inshallah.
I do agree to that advice, but to an extent. I mean, take it easy.
You gotta sugarcoat it sometimes, because what's it without any sweetness? You have to. What's life without any sweetness? You can't just throw everything at. I think that was our problem in school growing up. They always told us, they always warned us. They continuously warned us, and it almost sounded like a threat out of mainly my maths teachers' words. But yeah, it sounded like a threat at some point. So I think lessening the blow is necessary. Understanding that understanding YOLO, you only live once, is crucial in your matriculan's life, because I think in that phase of life, you are so focused on what is my next step that you don't understand there are going to be so many more steps. There are going to be so many more paths to overcome. Stop worrying about, stop consistently and continuously and overwhelmingly worrying about it. Worry about it in peace. Worry about it in a structured form. Worry about it in a routine. So yeah, that's my one piece of advice that I wish to share today as opening remarks. I know my matriculants right now are definitely stressing, and whatever I say is not going to calm those nerves. Because whatever anyone said to me didn't calm my nerves. But yeah, some sort of understanding, some sort of just a little breather here and there.
But those are beautiful words to start off, right? Like giving you hope that it's not be all and all. It's not the end of the world. There are lots of opportunities available for you as a matriculant, which we'll get to. But before that, it would be rude to be speaking to somebody whom we might not know.
Yeah.
So, Abdurrahman, I would give you this honor to tell us about yourself.
Okay.
I read your bio. I see you're involved in humanitarian work. I see that you're passing top of your class, mashallah.
No.
You tell us.
No, the top of the class is pretty far. But anyway, alhamdulillah, my name is Abdurrahman Karsani. I graduated from Al College in 2019. Alhamdulillah, good experience, a lovely experience. Muslim school, vibrant community. Not to mention, obviously, with the Islamic school, you're a little bit stuck in a bubble, but alhamdulillah, I managed to graduate as well from UKZN Howard College. I studied LLB, undergrad, or we call it a postgrad because it's incorporated. Your honors are incorporated in your LLB. So, like I mentioned, I was once stuck in a bubble in an Islamic school, but as I ventured into secular, tertiary education, I sort of understood more of what life needs from you. What's your purpose per se, and I think that guided me. That initially, I say from COVID, the get-go, it pushed me towards this humanitarian work, right? Humanitarian work isn't something you flex. It's something that you are honored to do. Okay, you accept it with both hands, but you also take it on as a commitment, as a almost as a lifestyle. It's not just a job. It's a commitment. It's a real dedication. So alhamdulillah, I'm honored to be in this field. It's not that I can say, tell everybody, yes, I do this and I do that. It's more because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted me the opportunity and I took it with two hands, alhamdulillah. So following my undergrad studies in LLB, I ventured into an LLM. So this is what I'm currently starting with. I'm kind of like juggling between work and studying at the same time. But alhamdulillah, the LLM is going well. What we do is coursework part-time, and we do our lectures also part-time, and then we do our dissertation in my second semester, which is what I'm working on currently. I know you did ask me to speak a bit about the dissertation. It is something that is not confirmed, but alhamdulillah, I am trying to sort of like correlated towards my passion. My passion would be for humanitarian aid work. So I'm trying to my LLM is to do with business law. So it's a bit difficult to find the puzzle piece, or connect the puzzle piece rather between business law and humanitarian work. So I'm trying my best to find that that part where I can tread between international trade, those type of borders, and then slowly trek my way into humanitarian aid work, and how humanitarian conflicts and how business conflicts that, and how they impact each other basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my current studying. My entire my entire perspective currently. It's all I'm focused on, and it's a bit hard to focus on other things, especially work at the same time. But your passions sort of like find a way to be your priority. So I'm trying to involve everything in one step.
MashaAllah, we wish you all the very best. That sounds like a handful, by the way, and we're going to find out later
I got two hands.
how you are managing, to find a balance between all that you are doing. For now, we are asking you, yes, you listening to us, to communicate with us on 0609041056. I see some of your messages coming in, but we want to find out from you if you have been through this metric phase and how did you cope? What did you do? And your words could be uplifting. They could give somebody hope. So do feel free to let us know. Say, hey, Kels, you know what? I could relate. When I was in matric, my nerves were, I don't know. I don't know what they were, but you let me know. 0609041056. Now, Abdurrahman, I'd like to find out from you. What opportunities do you think are available for matriculants at this moment?
So I know, like you mentioned before we started, how there's a major decrease in the employment rate. There's a lot of problems facing our youth getting into the marketplace. And to be honest, when I started, for instance, like when COVID hit in 2020, that's my first year, right? And that's when I remember getting into campus. So many of us, as soon as the lockdown happened and we had to go, online and stuff, we had this like constant battle with ourselves. Like, why is it only now? Like we just got here. Why is it us? Why is it our year?
Yeah.
But I think every year has its own problem. Every year has its own, strife, and it has its own like little issue that they have that they make it more or less this year's issue. Okay,
Yeah.
so don't think of it as why me. The first step, I think, as in a growing young man or young woman in the marketplace, jumping from matric to campus, take a breather. Honestly, I'm not saying gap years. I'm not throwing any actual like a step. I'm not throwing a step at you. I'm not throwing you telling you in a certain direction, go that way.
You're
I'm
just
telling you
giving a
there
hint.
are directions to go. I would say I should have taken a gap year, yes. But regardless, alhamdulillah, I ended up where I am, and I have no complaints about it. Regardless, there are definitely going to be amongst you matriculants. There are going to be people that are not as positive about what they're doing as others. I knew in my matric year that you could definitely see this guy is so set in medicine that he's made it his entire personality. People make jobs or career paths the entire personality. So I'm telling you, a gap year is an option. Internships are options. Going to a technical college is an option. Doing a diploma degree is an option. They're all positive options that you can take that won't hinder your progress. You're thinking very far term, very, very, very far term, actually, because you sort of see yourself in that dream ideological type of world, and you see yourself reaching there immediately. There are so many steps that you can take to get there, or to get even further than there. So I think my first small set of advice would be, listen, take a little bit of a breather when it comes to jumping into a degree. When it comes to knowing your degree, the degree of choice specifically, then yes, okay, then I have I would say no concerns. Don't be as hesitant as I was. You can take your steps to go ahead and do it. But obviously, with your job shadowing, with your interviews or whatever it can be that helps you understand your career path. So there's ways you can go about doing that, through internships, through apprenticeships. There's a lot of opportunities out there in terms of internships, because some of them are paying, obviously, and some of them are unpaying. And the unpaying ones are the ones that are obviously going to be a lot more encouraging in terms of employers wanting you to come into the workplace. It shows so much initiative. And I'd say, to be honest, a lot of internships, they grow into employment. It's how it works in today's society. People want to see initiative. And how can I just say, as an employer, I'm not going to say, okay, I'm deciding, I'm instantly hiring you. You just came out of the trick. Maybe you in your first, second, third year. I mean, I'm just so set on you that as soon as you get out of your, as soon as you finish your degree, as soon as you qualify, I'm done. You're in. You sign your contract.
I'd like to just add on to something before we diverge to any other topic. You spoke about the importance of a gap year,
Yes.
and I actually did take a gap year, but that was after my first year.
Okay.
So I noticed that after high school, you're still stuck in this bubble that life is a fairy tale, that
Yes,
life
very
is
true, very true.
the same as high
Very
school is, and somebody's going to chase after you. And university is not like that. You're on your own, and you have to be disciplined to survive there. And then when I took a gap year, I realized that there's so much of opportunity, like you mentioned, in the real world, And for some, they get stuck into that money-making habit, and then school is like, I want to go back. I like it here, But for others, it's like taking a gap year is the time to self-assess themselves. And for many people, they don't have the financial means to afford tertiary education. So maybe that gap year is because the bursary applications, they were unfortunate, they did not qualify. So they are forced to take a gap year, not because they willingly want to, but because circumstances chose to. Now, in that situation, I always advise people, do something, be productive.
Yes.
You know, like you said, job shadowing, you know, internships and so many other things that you can do. The great thing is you've got YouTube, guys. Like, use it. I live on YouTube, hey?
Not to mention ChatGPT.
You know?
It's crazy how much you can do with technology these days. It's like the you know, the sky's the limit, literally.
The sky's the limit.
Literally.
The sky's the limit. Like, I chat with ChatGPT. It's so embarrassing. If those chats
the best advice, honestly, it'll give you logic rather than, you know, emotional reason sometimes. And you need that. You need logic. You need someone to tell you this is how it is. This is what I found on the Google.
My lecturer doesn't agree.
Mine doesn't either. But she doesn't know that yet.
You know, but they're old school, so we don't blame them.
Yeah.
Here on the show, we speak about side hustles as well. We speak about
entrepreneurship. Yeah,
entrepreneurship. We speak about not necessarily entrepreneurship, because one can have a job and still find another source of income. You know, we believe in not limiting one's ability. However, there was a question that I got from a listener. By the way, Jazakallah khair so much for the lovely feedback. I really appreciate it, to everyone that's listening. I got a question from a listener last week, and she said, how does one balance side hustle with their job? Obviously, for you to be confused is because the side hustle is either paying you more than the job, or it's paying you equivalent to the job. Because at that point, you wouldn't be confused if your job was paying you enough.
You'd be able to know which one's more
which one is more important.
Priority,
So I'm like,
the priority would be obvious.
So I'm like, okay, this is a tricky question, and
honestly, I feel maybe the problem would be understanding your passion. It would be what actually excites me, what actually gets me going for my job, you know? Because I know people in, like, for instance, the baking business, but that baking would be a side hustle, right? And the actual job would be, say, secretary work, admin work, or this type of work, right? A very corporate salary sometimes, whatever it may be. But regardless of baking, it's just a side hustle. And yes, while you may be earning more from your actual job, the side hustle is to, you know, balance everything out, maybe help out your luxuries and stuff like that. Regardless, the passion is almost diverted, as in, like, you don't, not that you hate your job, but it's
it
almost,
doesn't interest you.
the side hustle is almost even like a therapeutic, because it helps you relieve yourself. It's a psychological, you know, change. It's a whole different dynamic and, you know, paradigm. It just changes your focus on everything. You stop worrying about, okay, when's this due, when's that due. It's more like, okay, I'm actually doing this because I love doing it, and I like my customers, and I like interacting with these type of people. Maybe what you have in your job, or rather what you have in your side hustle, grants you more opportunities in terms of, like, interaction, in terms of helping you let go of certain things, that's what allows you to carry on doing it. I'd say the side hustle, almost as if it takes over your life, at some point you're going to say, wait, I can't do this. It's just, you know, it's really overwhelming. Regardless whether I need the money, regardless whether I like doing it, I can't do this. But then when the passion for it is so strong that all your attention is sort of diverted to, that's when you can't stop doing it. So understanding that balance is more like understanding, you know, is it really going to overwhelm me? If it's overwhelming, then the idea is obvious, quite obvious. You know, you got to decide whether if I let go of this, will I still be able to hold on to what is truly me? You know, what is truly my passion? Would I still be able to hold on to it if I'm not doing it? You know, as a side hustle, of course.
You know, you mentioned something very important, because on my end, I was understanding it from a financial perspective. I'm like, okay, many people take on a side hustle because they need an extra source of income.
Very true.
But however, you know, passion and interest plays a vital role, because if I'm doing radio, for example, which is my job, my full-time job, I'm part-time, but anyways, you get the scenario. And then on the side, I have, like, an online boutique that I sell clothing, fashion, you know, stuff. Now, this job will require my time and energy and attention. The same with the side hustle.
Yes.
because I'm not focusing on growing that side hustle to become a full-time job, I'm dedicating a small amount of time towards it. Now, if it booms and there is a demand for it, now I need to invest more time in it. However, interest plays a very important part now that you mentioned it, because if, for example, I tend to love fashion more than radio, for sure my attention will go more towards that, so
it's almost involuntary, like you can't help it.
You can't help it, absolutely. So answering the question that I was asked, how does one balance side hustle with their job, their full-time job? I think like Abdurrahman said, the interest, self-assessment. You need to know what makes you happy, what are you more interested in. But I'm also really big on the financial side, because you don't want to go on doing a passion that you love so much, but your rent is not paid for the past 3 months.
Exactly.
But the good thing is, right now we are living in a generation where you can make a living out of the things you love.
True.
So I don't know how you're going to find that balance, but just have financial goals and also know yourself as well as your interests. And growth. I'm all about growth. Does the side hustle allow you to grow? Can it develop into something bigger in the long run? If yes, then 100% invest in it. If no, it's just going to remain as
just a side hustle. And maybe even stop. Like, I think, like you mentioned, growth is the only thing that keeps the side hustle growing. Because or keeps the side hustle going itself. Like, why would it ever exist if it won't kind of continue to? I think it would become a little bit more of a distraction in your life than something, a benefit, than a benefit. So I think you're going to lose out in the end if it's not benefiting you in some way. So financially, yes, and through your positive self-interest would be.
But also mental health.
Yes, that is a very big thing, especially in today's society with the the demands. And the lack of I think people tend to like stop paying attention to themselves so much that they involve themselves.
They neglect themselves. Even I went through that process, but we'll talk about it right after this. For now, your messages on 060-904-1056. This one says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear beautiful bubbly Kelly, I hope you're keeping well with my precious du'as. Beautiful career show. I love to hear about the matriculant because my niece daughter Rukshar, am I saying it right? Yeah, okay. Rukshar Balim Khan, as a well bubbly governor's son. Okay, I'm reading it exactly as it came in. All right. Yes, you got the matriculants. Don't stress. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. My salams and du'as to Abdurrahman as well. MashaAllah show. You are doing great. Subhanallah. I mean, this comes from Sarah Bibi Mustafa Parag from CBD Durban. And she said, safe buddy governor. Okay. My school days are over. So to the matriculants, take it easy. It is not the end of the world. Is it really? If you're a matriculant right now and we are telling you it's not the end of the world, do you believe us? Or do you think you guys don't understand? You can't relate. I'm going through a lot. Let us know on 060-904-1056. We're also live on Facebook, by the way, so do check us out by letting us know what is going on in your side of town. This is Career Compass with me, Kelly Ramazani and Abdurrahman. Your Saturdays are about to get better.
People of Palestine need your support now. African Muslims Agency is on the ground, already providing food, medication, and emergency supplies in Gaza. Donate any amount to Heal Palestine at africanmuslimsagency.co.za. African Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Are you or your loved one battling the disease of addiction? Is your family, life, relationships, work suffering due to alcoholism and substance abuse? Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center are addiction specialists offering specialized psychotherapy and naltrexone therapy to help overcome addiction. Zensai offers hotel-style facilities to allow your loved ones to regain their dignity and overcome alcoholism and drug abuse in the most comfortable setting possible. Fight addiction. Call Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center, the addiction recovery specialist on 031-563-0751.
Advertising pays. Get your business on the map through advertising with Radio Al Ansar, the station with a proven record. Let's check with Simplex Radio to find out the impact on their business by advertising with Radio Al Ansar. For us, it works very well. Our sales have increased and more people know about our store. I would definitely recommend advertising on Radio Al Ansar anytime. There you have it. Join the airwaves and take it up to another level. Call us on 031 208 1601 and ask for Fatima Shahina or Faraz Bucks, our consultants. Let your name be heard by thousands of people. Radio Al Ansar, your partner in business.
They convinced the world to believe that terrorists look like beards and thugs. Now, as the facade cracks, one martyr after another, the world sees through the broken windows and now knows the true face of terrorism. It wears suits and ties and smiles behind lies.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين اللهم أعد المسجد الأقصى إلى رحاب المسلمين اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود وزلزلهم يا قوي يا عزيز.
Get ready for green thumbs up with the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Rabia Carvalho, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar.
اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه السلام. You are the greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you, the final prophet. He led the way, so we stay.
15 minutes to 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for the lovely messages coming in. We appreciate you listening 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday on Radio Al Ansar. That's 90.4 FM if you are in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB, and anywhere else around the world on www.alansar.org.za. It is Career Compass with me, Kelly Ramazani, but today I am with a co-pilot, Abdurrahman Karsani, and we're talking all things matriculants. What opportunities are available for you? What skills, soft skills, and that you could develop, and they're guaranteed to take you places. Before we get to that, I'd like to acknowledge Rashida Iqbal. Shout out to you for the lovely message on Facebook. I see you, girl. I see you. Another Rashida here saying, Salam, Kelly. You doing okay? How are you doing? Oh, okay. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Have a blessed weekend. Oh, thank you, my love. Another message. Assalamu alaikum. Subhanallah, beautiful Nasheed. This comes from Sarah Bibi Mustafa Farag. Another message comes in and it says, is it possible to give Kelly my info? Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to read that on air. Can you tell her to please contact me after the show? Oh, okay. Okay. That is off air because the message proceeds to talk about something else, but I will definitely contact you. I see your number here. Jazakallah so much. So we normally talk about soft skills here on the show every Saturday. We mention the importance of ways that you can grow in your workplace, where you can get that promotion without stabbing somebody in the back, and how you can become a great individual, because the soft skills that we pick here are not just for you to ace your job, but to also be a great individual in the community. Last week, we spoke about leadership. This week, we are going to talk about another important soft skill. But before we get to that, I'd like Abdurrahman to tell us, what are the importance of growing soft skills, especially for students?
So I'd say in today's transitioning marketplace, we have a greater need for soft skills because while yes, a person can be very, very good at his job, he can be an incredible engineer, he can be an incredible lawyer, whatever he wants to be. Regardless, how you interact with someone is what makes you you, what makes you worthy in the marketplace, what makes you wanted even by an employer.
True.
So nowadays, as much as they are hiring people with experience, as much as they are hiring people, with some background and understanding and knowledge of the certain career, regardless, they need people that can speak to someone on their level. So personally, in the law field, right? Just say I come across as a very like a insensitive, hard to collaborate type of person, right? And I'm speaking to a client of, let's say, let's say a client that has been through a divorce, because I'm a just say I'm a lawyer in that field, right? And I'm speaking to someone who has just had a divorce. They're emotional at that point, they don't really know what they're going through. They are scrambling for different, avenues that they can go to go, people to go to, therapists, this, that, right? So now they come to me with their divorce and what they want to settle and what they need from me, right? And I am, as a person, I am insensitive. As a person, I am, hard to work with. As a person, I don't take heed of your emotional, your current state of mind right now. And I just come at you as a professional. Yes, okay, I need this, and I need this from you. And you're sitting there across me and you're crying, you're telling me a story, and I'm just, yeah, okay.
You don't have to hear anything. You have to work.
You got to understand that in every career path, they are going to come to you people that of different backgrounds, of different ethics, of different morals, but yes, they are still humans. They're still human beings. So I think the understanding of, like you mentioned, how we have to, how yes, we want to be leaders. Yes, humility is just as important in the marketplace, to understand that okay, the person across me needs something from me, but I also need something from them. As much as they need me as a to work for them, as much as they need my service, I need them too. I need them as well. So let me treat them just as they treat me. If they treat me with respect, I'm going to treat them with the respect as well. It's not just an insensitive approach, a robotic approach, just because I'm so good at my job. For instance, like okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna add to that. I once told a leader, or maybe a boss, an employer, something like that, and he got very upset. I said, listen, as much as these are your workers and they're working for you, you need them as well. Your company needs them as well. So this mentality of I'm doing you a favor by employing you does not work, because you need the service, you need the expertise just as much. So having to be this robotic, nonchalant person,
just because you're good at your job, just because you
it doesn't. And like you mentioned, humility is the soft skill that we are going to speak about this week. Last week we spoke about leadership, and you're probably wondering, okay, those are two ends of the the spectrum. Like, how do we move from leadership to humility? There is no great leader in this world that is not humble. You cannot be a great leader until you learn humility. Humility, like Abdurrahman said, it is about teamwork. It is about understanding that these are my strengths, but I also have weaknesses. And it's okay to take an opinion from somebody else. And it's okay to learn from somebody else. Hint, hint, for the CEOs and managers and all the big people. You don't need to go around asking everybody, who do you think I am? Everybody knows who you are. Respectfully, everybody knows who you are. But there is no need to rub it in people's faces that I'm mighty and I'm this person, because you will not be able to build stronger relationships if you're the type of person that nobody can communicate to. All the time you are in self-defense mode. And also, it also improves leadership effectiveness. People will only understand you or relate to you if they know that you take in criticism or you admit that, hey, I was wrong there. But I'm more focused on students. Abdurrahman, tell us what are some of the soft skills that I needed, especially for Muslim students, I might say. We have
Yes.
this thing, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to call a spade today. We have this thing where we group to ourselves.
Yes, we do.
And anybody
clique,
that's not Muslim is not human enough.
Yes. It's hard to break that cultural barrier. That it's not even just a language, but nowadays, like we all speak, so some of the languages we can interact, but there's still a barrier between us. It's still something that is not bridging our gaps completely. So. Okay, but before we get into that, I'd like to mention like how you mentioned soft skills. There's soft skills for a leader, yes, a person in charge. There's definitely a set of soft skills there that we can use in both senses of a person still going into the marketplace, still going into the big bad world, but at the same time, for everybody, I think both the leader, both the person coming into this marketplace. EQ is a big topic on our current platform right now. I've heard of it on so many podcasts and so many speeches that people are giving at graduation and these type of coming of age type of speeches. That where they're trying to help youngsters understand what is needed of them. So understanding emotion is one of the most effective ways to get to anyone, to help someone understand you, help you understand someone else. Understanding emotion is just, I think that's the pinnacle. That's when I've got someone. I really have. It's not about your IQ. It's not about how much I know. It's how much can I know about someone. How much can I get across to someone. And that comes with so much of. I can't even say training, because it's not something that you just go out there and you consistently just do it alone. You have to do it together you have to interact with people. You have to consistently get to know people. And that's the only way you're going to grow your emotional intelligence, by interacting with people and finding sensitivity in them. Finding something to be sensitive about. So understanding that the person across me is a human being.
Absolutely. But I have to ask you this question. There's this thing or statement that people say, introverts don't talk. Introverts don't like people. Introverts are shy. You're an adult, first of all. You should be able to reason and communicate like an adult.
Like it is okay to understand that, yes, there are some environments that I'm not comfortable about. Okay, that's completely fine. That is understanding your situation, that is understanding your circumstance. And that is, to be honest, that's also understanding yourself. What's your, like you mentioned, strengths and weaknesses. If my weakness is not being able to handle crowds, not being able to handle, large interactions or like a speech or something, that's completely fine. Yes, but at the same time, like you mentioned, you're an adult. You need to understand that this is something. Maybe this is something you need to overcome. Maybe this is something that you need to rile yourself up and push yourself over. It's much needed in today's society. Unfortunately, it's a rat race. We are consistently battling. It's a competition. It's the competition is so high that you can't consistently be given an excuse that no, I can't. There are so much more possibilities for you. Like there are jobs, of course, that don't require this set of skills. Don't require you to go on a stage and talk to a bunch of people, or even sit in the radio station, be able to interact.
You'll still do that maybe via Zoom meeting,
exactly.
or you email.
There's always going to be some point in your life where you need to effectively communicate and understand yourself emotionally, understand what is good in my circumstance. But so we're kind of straying from the point of Muslim students, but at the same time, it does correlate somewhere where we lack effective communication, because we're stuck in that little bubble of ours. We form that clique, we form that understanding that everyone around me is the same, so I am completely comfortable with where I'm sitting. The person next to me, maybe they don't have the same life as me, of course, but they are similar interests. There's so much going on that we correlate on, that we relate to, and at that point we sort of forget that there's so many other people out there that have no idea of your cultures, no idea of your ethics and your morals and everything that goes on in your life, and there are no relative points between you other than maybe the fact that you studied at the same degree. Literally, that could be the only thing that you have in common, and you're going to have to find a way to bridge that gap. For instance, when you put into I've been in these groups so many times. Okay, so like when we go to these back works or these internships, and they put you into little team bubbles. They call it like little like a little group where they formulate a project on you. Each team has its own project, and you have to interact with people you've never seen before, or maybe you have seen before and you haven't interacted with that on that level before. So as a Muslim student, all of a sudden there's a non-Muslim girl sitting across you, then there's a Muslim guy sitting next to you, and you're trying to bridge everything, put everything together into one project. And it's like as if like your morals are telling you, wait, I have never done this before, this is completely new to me. But the fact is that in today's society, in today's economy, there's no time to just sit back and say, you know what, I've never done it, so I'm not doing it. I'm gonna sit down here and I'm gonna focus on what I'm comfortable with. The you know how cliche it is, as cliche it is to consistently say get out of your comfort zone. This is a need. I'm talking to matriculants specifically. This is a need. If you're getting into campus and you're choosing, okay, this is what I'm going to study, I'm set on it, or maybe even I'm taking a gap year, but then afterwards I will be studying. Regardless, I think understanding that, listen, I'm going to be seeing people I've never seen before. I'm going to be seeing people that I've never even understood. I might not even understand their culture. I might not even understand where they're coming from or their background. But regardless, I need to be considerate. I need to come at it as with a blank slate. Don't come at it as like, I can't do this. Completely turn your back from it.
I think next week we will definitely speak about open-mindedness as a soft skill, because what you mentioned there is being open-minded. A lot of us are scared of change. We're scared of something that we've never seen before, we've never been exposed to. But that's the only way you'll grow. It's out of your comfort zone. Your messages on 0609041056. Salams KR. I like that. Kelly Ramazani, KR. So we as home executives doing our side hustles, be it a pop-up stalls, selling to families, people need support. Support us as peers. I don't understand. So much hard work goes into it. Wa alaikum salam. This comes from Razia Khan. I absolutely admire the fact that you are a housewife, but you are trying something on the side. So for all the housewives as well, whatever it is that you're good at, maybe baking, maybe making sweets, or maybe, I don't know, laundry, or whatever it is that you enjoy. Some people enjoy ironing. Create a poster. Canva is free. Okay, some features are not, but you get it, right? So create a poster. You're involved in so many groups. Ask the admin, can I share this? Share it. Put your contact details there, please. It has to be a number that we can get access to you. Don't put a number that doesn't go through. And inshallah, from there, you can let people know what hours you're available, and it's something, a source of income. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Lovely program as always. Love your voice and vibes. Salams to Abdurrahman. I can hear his slight American accent. Okay, I didn't know that. Alhamdulillah, he's my niece's son. Alhamdulillah. Oh, okay. Now family connections here, huh? I see that. Another message just says, Assalamu alaikum.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. They picked up the accent. I was definitely going to ask you to give us the accent, but the time is not on our side. So this message says, Salams, yes, respect is very important. Abdurrahman is right. But whatever you are, you must just plan and simple. Okay. Jazakallah khair so much for listening. Thank you. You too, Sif, for being the tech on duty. Thank you, Abdurrahman, for your visit here. There's so much that we need to talk about. We're definitely going to go into so much more. But again, time is not on our side, and I did promise you that I had a surprise. I guess we'll have to postpone it for next week. Oh, Kelly, why? Because I said so. All right, thank you for being a part of this brilliant initiative to let the youth know that they're not alone, that we've got their back, and we are willing to help them become better wherever we can. This is Career Compass, the ultimate guide to navigating the world of careers, with me, Kelly Ramazani, and our special guest today, Abdurrahman Farsani. We shall do it again next week, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on 90.4 FM radio. All the time of those that are on Facebook, thank you so much. Until then, I say to you, find your purpose and leave your mark. Assalamu alaikum. And